You're gonna say what's up? Say what's up? You're gonna say what's up to Ricky Braddock? Oh. Let's talk about Hatton.
Yeah, I saw Ricky. Yeah, I talked to Ricky already.
You gotta put yourself here.
Well, you put it right here. We're doing it first. What about me? That's fine. Let me ask you. Right? Then let me know where you are. I don't actually understand where Sam is. So this is something about that.
I made my trainer to just put on his own talk.
No worries. Want to do that now?
Yeah.
Mark, come on this side. It's available if you'd like. Oh,
Okay, that's good then.
Coach.
We'll use it. We'll use it. You got the game Good action. Good manager. That's it.
I've been training down in the hot weather in Miami to get away from some distractions moving our way, bro. I saw you a couple of weeks ago. You got me where you want, man. Yo, listen, I love him more than ever. Not only that, yo, you give me advice.
I'll talk to you after about the thought process behind this fight for me too.
Oh, my man, what's going on, man? How you doing?
You guys have known each other a long time. Talk about, is that strange having that sort of fondness for a guy going in 4 days before you fight him?
It would be normally strange if I didn't know what a competitor Tito is. But I know what a competitor Tito is. If I didn't know him as well as I know him, it would be strange because I'd be like, oh man, I know he's a big competitor. And I've also sparred him back in the day, and I know he comes to work.
When was the last time you sparred?
Probably 2001, a long time ago. But I know his mentality. I was in the amateurs with him as well. I told him when I'm the title, golden gloves. So I know his mentality. I know this guy comes to work. So I know in my mind, Saturday night the bell rings, this guy's not taking no prisoners. So I train with that same mentality because I know what I'm dealing with. If he was a guy who I knew but I didn't know as well, I'd say, okay, you know what? You know, he's a friend, it's gonna be a little weird. But it's not weird. It's actually not weird at all. Because I know the competitor he is, I know I'm a competitor, and we want this bragging rights and this fight, it's important to both of us.
Hey, Paulie, could this one be the main event in this building on Saturday night, man?
I think it'll be anticipated because of the crowd that we're from Brooklyn, as far as local is concerned. As far as the magnitude and the importance on a global stage, Santa Cruz and Frampton are clearly the more important fight. You know, I made they're deserving of a main event. But as far as the, you know, there's a reason Paulie Malignaggi and Gabriel Bracero wound up on this card. It's to help sell the building, to help the local, attract local fans. Once the local fans are in the building, then maybe they'll become fans of Frampton and Santa Cruz as well. And that's the intention here. You know, you always try to stack the undercard with local fighters. So there's the two big name local fighters in myself and Tito. So I think, yeah, as far as crowd attraction, it's a big fight for the undercard. But at the same time, it's worth it.
I've heard you and read you maybe hinting, could this be the last fight? Are you looking at it as the last fight?
You know, everybody always asks me that. I don't know. You know, I kind of have a plan in my mind, and it involves the way I was dealing with this heat in Miami. And don't get me wrong, man, it's very uncomfortable making weight, so I make no promises. But me and my trainer Luis Perez, we were talking about how in this heat, if we have a a long training camp, we could possibly make the super lightweight limit. And at super lightweight, I think I can compete on a more global stage than I can at welterweight. You know, if it's and I don't make no promises. Don't want to look past Tito, number one, and number two, I just don't know if I would be able to make it or if I want to go through that punishment, that severe dehydration. But it's something that's crossed my mind. Also, the European title is obviously something I don't want to retire without at least having won it once. I'm mandatory for it right now, so as long as I keep it, don't lose, I get a shot at that. So I don't think it's the last fight here, but I think it's among the last ones. I have a small plan or an idea of a plan in my mind, and somehow I want to execute it. We'll see, but I want to execute it in a bang, bang, bang kind of fashion. You know, I don't want to fight and then wait a year, and fight and wait a year, and commentate in the meantime, trying to make up my mind what I want to do. I want to either, at this point, I'm 36 in November, I'm 35 right now, I'm either all in or I'm all out. You know, so if I'm gonna be all in, I gotta go fight, or whatever, however many fights there are. The intention is to make it quick and be done regardless in the near future. But if I decide to fight, I want to fight consistent and train consistent. You know, because as you get older, I think you need that.
Do you find it ironic that person's standing your way to end the career that's the way you want to end it? Maybe with Ricky Burns' title, maybe challenging him, maybe with TBU title, is your guy from back in the day, Tito Bracero? I mean, he's in the way for finishing his career the way
you know what? It's funny, man. It's just I was just talking over telling him. It's funny how life turns out and the irony of things how turn out. I remember Tito giving me rides home from the gym when I didn't have a car and Tito had a car. We were both amateurs. Tito's neighborhood borders mine. Sunset borders New Bensonhurst pretty much. You know, so you know, I remember him giving me rides at times from the gym, coming home early in my pro career or later on amateur career. When I didn't have a car and you know he had like a little hoopty car. You know, but you know we were both just young guys trying to make it and trying to be the best we could be. You know, and you know our lives kind of shaped themselves in the way they went. But it's just ironic that we cross paths now. And when the fight came my way, I told myself, I said, can I really do this? You know, can I really fight a friend of mine who I've been pulling so hard for since he turned his life around? Can I really do this? But then at the end of the day, I said to myself, if I'm him, I would want the opportunity. You know what I mean? And then we are fighters, and this is how we get paid to get the opportunities we deserve. You know, as far as if we earn them in the ring. So who am I to take away the opportunity from him? At the same time, it's an opportunity for me. And if he is good enough to beat, if he is, why shouldn't it be a stranger? Why shouldn't it be him? If he is good enough. But if he's not, there's somebody else going to beat him anyway, so better to be me and advance my career. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of a thought process I had when it comes to taking a fight, and I say, you know what? Okay, let's do it. You know, Tito was appreciative, I'm appreciative. I think we have a good stage for it, and hopefully we can make the most of the fight and everybody can enjoy it. I think it's always in your blood. I think it's always in your blood.
Fight all these years and you run the game and you're not doing it. It's hard to say that because you're still in the business.
Yeah. It's not easy. You know, you think you're done and then suddenly you just get some issues. I cannot go into a gym, I cannot start training and not want to fight. I end up gaining weight and I say, oh man, you know, I'm just going to hit it. The way I know how to lose weight is boxing. And I know boxing is a bang, bang, quick way to lose weight. I mean, you can lose weight fast with boxing. So the way when I start gaining some weight, I start saying, you know what, I need to lose some weight. I'm not looking good on TV right now. And my chin is coming out of my button down when I'm on TV, you know? So I got to lose some weight. I go to the gym to lose some weight. And before I know it, somebody needs sparring, somebody wants to work, and before I know it, I see young guys getting in there work, and I want to, you know, be involved, and then before you know it, you get in there, you start working, and you start feeling pretty good, and you're like, you know what, I can fight again. And you just get sucked in, so yeah, it's weird, man, it's a sickness, I guess, I don't know.
Nah, it's not, it's a love affair. You're married to
love affair. I'm hoping to have a good enough performance so when people will talk about that Paulie Malignaggi just got enough left. And I feel like I can do that. I feel like I can put that kind of performance together where people will say, you know what, Malignaggi has something left. I know the welterweight division is tough.